Welcome to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download today using code PHNX, and new customers who bet just $1 on either NBA team to score a point this week, you win $100 in free bets. We're going streaking, Petey. Here we go.
Unbelievable. It's great. It's points in 4, 2 wins. Can we just do it earlier?
I know.
I'm overtime back to back. Really? One, it's late, way past my bedtime
It's
for
way
one.
past. As you can see, everyone, we're at home.
And clearly they don't pay us by the hour.
Oh my gosh.
Did you bring one, Leah? Did you bring one? Well, a beer. Did you?
No, I tweeted that I am drinking tea
out
of my Phoenix Suns mug because they just won 12 straight. I feel like I channeled the Phoenix Suns. Well, cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Cardinals won today. Suns won today. Coyotes won today. U of A basketball won today. What a day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, barely said it.
Great
Easy
day.
Sports today. I love to see it. Every time we win, I just don't even know what to say because I'm not used to it.
Well, it is funny how different a week is, right? Like these 4 games versus what we were dealing with for the weeks leading up to this. You said, well, we'd never have a chance. And even tonight, you got to admit, through 2 periods, this team didn't look the way they've looked over the last week.
With their shot production.
No, but you're traveling back to back. You got in late to LA last night, played hard last night, played extra time again, and they're tired. And I didn't have much hope early because they just didn't have their legs. But you knew if they could stay in it, it's the same recipe they had last night. If you stay in it, you have a chance. And this time, instead of Scott Wedgwood, it was Karel Vejmelka making the saves. Unbelievable. Like there were so many big saves that he made tonight. Now, I think there were moments that he looked a little, we call it busy, where he's sliding around the net a little bit, and you're like, oh no, like the one off the post that went in behind it, or the one
post.
Where Brendan Lemieux had the breakaway and he gets tripped with no call and just misses the empty net. So there were some near misses, but Vejmelka made the big saves when he needed to, just like last night.
He looked like the Vejmelka that we saw in that road trip in Florida and in Washington. That who was the reason why the Coyotes had chances to win in those games. And then he had a little bit of a dip. Wedgwood came in, stepped up. But if Wedgie and Veggie can both play at the level that they played, last night and tonight, all of a sudden this is a whole different team to watch. If, of course, the Coyotes matched that with offensive production, which the shot totals weren't there. But like you've said all season long, this is how the Coyotes are going to win games.
I know Tim's here again tonight. So when Tim has been giving it to me, because we were 5-4, 6-5, I was saying 2-1. You just got to hang around it and you win late. And here he is, 2 in a row. We're 2-1 tight overtime. This team picked it up in the third period. It's just like they did last night. Their feet got moving. They started to get more opportunities in the third period. I thought Clayton Keller, another solid game for him. Jacob Chikrin, in and out for me, fell down a couple of times. And I know I saw people commenting that summed up the game when he got really hooked and fell down and he was just laughing. Yeah, the mood on this team is extremely light right now, which is great. I think it was good to see that they could respond that way in the third period. I thought they had better puck movement in the third. I thought better chances in the third. Sometimes that's the way games go, especially on the road, especially on a back-to-back. You just don't have the legs and you don't have the energy to get through the game a complete 60 minutes. Corral held a minute. They were able to finish a huge streak. Leah, we're talking about this team getting points in 4 straight games.
I never would have believed it if you had said it. At the beginning of this season.
The good news is the Wheel Fantasy is collecting dust back at the studio.
That's actually a positive.
Yeah, because we get to talk that way for 30 to 40 minutes a night. So that's fantastic. And why don't we go look at the numbers, Lee, and see where we were tonight?
All right. So shots on goal, not super even. LA with 38-26. Everyone's penalty kill was successful. No one's power play was. Faceoffs, a little bit even. LA kind of, I was checking throughout the game, they kind of were the favorite on that one, and it was tough to see Jay Beagle go out with a lower body injury in the game because he is really good in the face-off circle. So,
well, one of the things on the shots on goal, Leah, too, like it ends up looking a little more even than it actually was. I mean, the Coyotes get 10 shots. They outshoot them. The Kings 10-8 in the third period. The Kings dominated through 2 periods, though. I mean, it was 28-15 through 2.
yeah.
So you got concerned. And again, congratulations to Karel Vejmelka, who kept him in it. And this is the
First
way it's going to
NHL
go.
win for him.
First win. And he played well in stretches, especially in that southeastern U.S. road swing. But good grief, he finally gets one. I can't imagine how big that is for him. And I know you've seen it on TV where they pass the belt to somebody and as a player of the game. And I can't imagine it is not Karel Vejmelka tonight.
Yeah, you would hope to see that. It was great to see Keller get it last night after scoring the overtime winner and having that, dedicating that to his grandfather who passed from cancer on Hockey Vice Cancer Night. So, just the fact that they can
Tim's getting nervous. Did you see the last one? Oh, he just said, can we just get it out of the way and confirm that Veggie is the king of the game?
I've seen so many comments. Everybody is saying Veggie has to be king of the game. Should we just get to it?
Get to the king of the game.
Let's see it. You're right.
There it is, Tim. Now Tim can go to bed. I know he's really, really late for Tim.
It's late for all of us, Tim. 37 saves. First career win for Vejmelka. He faced 38 shots, 37 saves and .974 save percentage for him. So great showing all around. And like we said, that's what you want to see from your goalie tandem. This was a great performance this weekend.
And you know what? When we look at his small NHL career so far, his North American career, he started off playing really well. He was unknown, no pressure. He was the number 2 guy. Didn't matter, right? Like it was all on Carter Hutton. Carter Hutton goes down. Veggie's the guy. And I'm not sure if that didn't overwhelm him a little bit because that's the only blip he had on his radar right now is when he was the guy. And maybe there was a little too much pressure on him. And understandably so. He's never been in the league or the country before. And now Wedgie's kind of taken the lead role and the number 1 job maybe away from him a little bit. And maybe it's not as much pressure. And he's played. This is the way he looked 2-3 weeks ago. So that's a great sign for the Coyotes. And Shane Diefenbach, use that term loosely, friends. Wow.
Oh my God. The relationship that you two have is just fascinating. Oh my God.
Well, and that's a good sign going forward. Now you can feel comfortable throwing Veggie back in the net. And it kind of erases those big numbers he'd given up in his last 3. I would assume when they come back Wednesday against the the Edmonton Oilers. I'm sorry, Shane. I'm sorry. The Edmonton Oilers, I would expect Wedgwood to be back in the net for that, but then you feel comfortable throwing Veggie back in.
This is one of those where like I'm not gonna get upset either way. I think we could guess either one and ride the momentum of Veggie, ride the momentum of Wedgie. Oh my God, it's so hard and also fun to say. But yeah, looking at Edmonton, they're 13-4, second in the Pacific, second in the Western Conference, only behind Calgary, but they have 2 games in hand on Calgary. And the Coyotes lost to Edmonton 5-1 last time they played them. So a little bit of a daunting task ahead, but a couple days off in between and riding the high of some wins. I mean, we talk about just the mentality and the mood in the locker room and the weight off people's shoulders. I mean, it's fun. I even found myself like, those first set of games, I was like, ugh, like another game tonight. It's going to be another loss. And it's just not, you don't get excited to watch as a fan, but like, I was excited to watch this game because I felt like there was a chance and that's a good feeling.
Yeah. And then look at Karen, if we can just stay competitive. And the one trick against Edmonton, really, really good, high-scoring hockey team. But having said that, a lot of their production comes from 2 players. And if you can shut those 2 players down defensively, you have a chance to win. And I know when I was in the coach's room, that would be the message all day long, every video meeting would be about stopping McDavid and Draisaitl. And if you could come out even with those two on the ice, you have a chance of winning. So you don't worry about how you're, we're not trying to get chances when Connor's on the ice. We're just trying to make sure he doesn't score. If you do that, it's a big win. So I think that's going to be the game plan going into Wednesday, especially with a team that's really struggling to create offensive chances. Over these last two games, like today was tough, man. They were turning the puck over, couldn't get the puck in the offensive zone. It was a challenge for them to create offense tonight, but just like last night, they found a way to get it done, and it was unbelievable pass. I mean, Clayton Keller gets 2 assists. He gets the pass on the first goal to Gostisbehere through the seam, an amazing pass that it lands on the tape of Gostisbehere. So they have the ability to create offense, and then we talked about Keller. It's the best he's played as a Coyote.
Yeah, which has been so great to see. And just saying, I preseason prediction had him, I think, top goal scorer. So don't know if we're there yet, but
I had King Louis. Whoops.
Yeah. No,
well, you got a lot of hockey left.
Definitely a lot of hockey left. Also, another note of this game, like there was barely any whistles in the first half of the game. I was like sweating the first period. There were only 8 faceoffs the entire first period.
Leah, now here's your bit of trivia. Do you know what an average period would be in an NHL?
No, I actually don't.
You don't. An average has between 60 and 63 faceoffs a game, so about 20 faceoffs a period. So half the faceoffs.
So far below average.
Far below. That'd be half if you do the math.
I know.
I don't
do
math very well.
No, either do I. I'm not good at all.
Yeah, where is Discount Clark Kent?
Yeah, people are asking where's Discount Clark Kent? He is also at home, actually.
Yeah.
But he's doing media availability by phone. So he will be joining us. By the way, he was texting us during the game. I'm baking cookies. I'm going to eat them in the show. Petey, my wife is landscaping and it's better than yours. I was like, oh my God.
And by the way, I won't be there when you start the show. I'm not going to be there. No, right before we go on air. It's like, oh, by the way, I think I'll wait till after availability. Like, put the headphones on. When the phone rings, grab the phone. I don't get it.
If anyone's watched our post-game shows when Craig's been in the studio, but the Coyotes were on the road, they've seen him straight up once walk out of the room and twice just not be there. And then that time he walked back in the room with a bottle of tequila. So, keeps it entertaining. We don't know what he's going to show.
So next show, I want to do that. Can I just go, hey, I'm going to be the one making the phone call, and then I just don't show up? Like, I'll do that.
You're like running late
I'll do the interviews.
Post-game show, and that's just your excuse. And then we say, what did they say? And you have to just make it up.
Yeah, I'll do the interviews. Okay. Work. Hey, Craig. I'll wait till he gets here. I'm going to tough on Craig. Yeah, no, he does a good job. I'm teasing Craig. But and no cookies. He better bring some in.
You better bring some in.
What's next, Leah?
Well, I don't know. Should we do your game breakdown?
Yeah, we're gonna do it quick. I'll try to do it. And
okay,
have it make
so
sense.
I know people loved video coach Petey coming out. So the other day, we want to. He's gonna try and break down some plays every game if there's a play worth breaking down. So he has one tonight.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about turning the puck over and how this team tries to generate offense, and sometimes generating offense leads to trouble defensively, and that happened a couple of times tonight. And Aaron, you ready, Aaron? Number one. The first slide, and I know this is going to be on a podcast too, so I'm going to do my best. Jacob Chychrun is a defenseman. He comes up the ice. When he carries the puck up the ice, now it is a 4-on-2 offensively for the Arizona Coyotes. So they have numbers, we call it, going up the ice. The big thing when you have a defenseman joining the offensive rush, they cannot turn the puck over at the blue line. To go to the next slide. He turns the puck over in the middle of the ice. And what happens now is you have a defenseman, and you can see Jacob Chychrun deep inside the zone. When that happens, you get 4 Coyotes caught up the ice. The puck turns over, and go to the next one. And LA's got a 2-on-1 going up the ice the other direction. So trying to create offense is great. You get a 4-man rush offensively. If things get to the net, great. And you get an offensive opportunity. Unfortunately, if you turn that puck over, so we talk about in the coach's room, you don't want plays going east to west, meaning across the blue line. Don't make passes there. Try to make passes towards the net so you don't create odd man rushes against you. And that's what happened on the goal. If you give me the next one, Aaron. So on this one, Capobianco gets tied up along the wall, and everybody takes off. Everybody's looking for offense. All of the forwards for the Arizona Coyotes leave the zone and get outside of the blue line, leaving Kyle Capobianco kind of on an island. And as he comes up the ice, I think there should have been a penalty. But if you go to the next one, he gets tripped up, and it's the same situation. Looking for offense. If you turn the puck over, it creates problems defensively. And go to the last one. Aaron. The last one. So the last one. So Kyle turns it over. Everybody's looking for offense. And offense, if it doesn't work out and you turn the puck over, you could be looking at big problems defensively. And it leaves 3 LA Kings back with 1 defender. And Brendan Lemieux is able to tuck it in short side over Vejmelka. So again, the point of this is if you're on a 4-man rush and the defenseman's going to join, you can't turn pucks over at the blue line. And here, Kyle Capobianco, again, when you're all by yourself, that puck has to move quicker. It's got to go off the boards, off the glass, and out so you don't end up defending.
Wow.
Did that make sense?
I loved it. That did make a lot of sense. And that's something that Coach Turney has been really making a point this last week. It's just that there can't be odd man rushes. And we said that he had said that he was making them skate a lap every time they did it in practice. So obviously still a little bit of an issue for the team, but that's why they have coaches like you.
And when you're struggling for offense, though, Leah, when you can't get offense, you need these things to happen. Jacob Chychrun has to jump in the play. It's part of his game. They need to create offense. He has to be there. But what he can't do is he can't turn the puck over then. You have to make an attempt at the net. So either he's got to get a forward driving towards the net and he's got to deliver the puck to that forward, or he's got to get a puck on the net, because you cannot turn a puck over at the blue because it's coming back the other way. And you do that against the Edmonton Oilers. Oh boy.
Yeah, no.
There
Not
should
against
be
that speed.
there should be a rule, no turnovers at either blue line on Wednesday night against the Edmonton Oilers. You can't. It's just got to go off the wall. Keep it on the same side and keep chipping it off the wall, because if you turn it over in the middle of the ice, they will make you look silly. They're just too fast in Edmonton.
Well, I guess we already know what one of your kings of the game will be for that game against Edmonton. Should we pull up your keys from tonight and see how the Coyotes did on these ones?
Sure.
All right.
Keep streaking. Did Kessel get a point? No.
So I don't think Krause did either.
No,
but the team did, and that's what's most important. So keeping some of that alive. Also, Keller, I think, is now starting a streak. So good for him on that one.
Defending the rush, I think we just talked about that.
Yep.
We saw how many 2-on-1s, 2-on-0s, 1-on-0s. I think they still need to, and the way to defend the rush is stop turning the puck over. I think that was a key for this team, and I think they gave up too many odd man rushes against. And we talked about waking up the backup with a can't start slow. I don't know how much slower those first 2 periods could start. Yeah, it's hard. It took them 2 periods to get their legs underneath them.
Yeah, not a good start, definitely, in terms of shots. I felt like, I think I had texted you guys and said, how much freaking time did LA spend in the offensive zone at the beginning of that game? It felt like the entire first period. It was insane. So I'm glad to see that they got to pick up later in the game, came back with that, because they did not have a fast start.
No, and it's hard. And I guess I'll look at myself, who didn't play and didn't travel and had really nothing to do with anything. By the time the game started, I was tired and I didn't do anything. Yeah. These guys played last night. They traveled. Can you imagine how they must have felt? Like it's tiring, and it takes you time to get back into what you're doing. It just does. And I know you make excuses for them because they're professional athletes and everybody's used to it, but it's hard. And the second one's hard, but the really hard one is when they have 3 and 4. Then it's even more difficult to get up and physically. Now you're beat down. 3 and 4 is the one. If you're looking at your DraftKings Sportsbook app, look at a team that's playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, and that's a team you want to keep an eye on, because that is the hardest.
That's a good tip, Petey.
Well, that was a segue.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of the DraftKings Sportsbook app, there you go. Well, also on that note, I saw someone very early on in the comments, one of the first, Clinton in the comments said he went money line on the Yotes tonight, put $10 down, 150. So
nice.
Great job, Clinton, on that one. DraftKings Sportsbook app, super, super easy to use. There's so much stuff you can bet on. And if you sign up this week using the promo code PHNX and bet $1 or more on either team to score in an NBA game or an NFL game. You can win $100 in free bets, and then you can do with those bets what you like. There's also promotions weekly at DraftKings, so just a ton of ways to win money. It's safe, secure, reliable. Petey's, if you guys all listened yesterday, you would have heard Petey's DraftKings pick of the week was the Vikings over the Packers.
Plus 1.5. What
plus
a
one
game.
and a half. And holy shit.
What a game.
What a game that was, because I watched, so I actually was at the studio all day today, went to Zips with Shane, who was in the chat earlier, and Johnny, who the two of them co-host the PHNX Daily Bet Show. And I just have to say, watching football with people who bet on every game is like more fun than watching the game themselves. So you can for sure make it way more entertaining for yourself, even if you're not invested.
PD. Yeah, that was a big game for the Vikings.
Huge game.
Go Vikings. And you know what? They're back in the playoff picture now. So that was exciting.
Okay, I have to wrap up this read because it's almost Craig calls time. Just saw him pop in. But just a reminder, use that code PHNX when you sign up for the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet $1 on either team to score in an NBA game and win $100 in free bets. That's 21 and over, Arizona only. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com. Oh, and if gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. And see DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Craig calls. Craig calls.
What's up, guys?
Craig calls. It's Craig.
It's Craig.
We're debating on if you're really doing the interviews or you were just getting another batch of cookies out of the oven. I'm not sure.
The interviews?
I knew it.
See?
We just wrapped up. They rolled through them pretty quickly tonight. Kyle Capobianco was on, Karel Vejmelka, and then Andre Tourigny, but they rolled through them quickly. They're trying to get out of LA, obviously, as quickly as possible. PD, you know how this is. But 3 wins in their last 4 games, points in the past 4 games. What a turn for this team right now.
I know that people are demanding you get a strobe light at your house so it looks more like the arenas on the road. So you get a little more lighting issues that we had. How was Corral after the game? He was our DraftKings Sportsbook app king of the game tonight. Held a minute early, just like Wedgwood did last night. Gets his first win in North America. I imagine he was running pretty high after.
Yeah, listen, and Andre said it right after the game. He deserved this. He gave him so many good performances early in the season and didn't get any kind of reward for it. So Andre said he was really happy for him that he was able to do this. Karel said he took the time to work with Corey Schwab on a number of details. Playing the puck was one of those things. But, you know, Petey, you and I were talking about this during the game. He looked a little shaky early on. He was out of position a bit. He was sliding around, but as goalie coaches like to say, he battled. He made some saves in spite of that. And then he seemed to settle into this game, and he ended up tying a career high with 37 saves. And again, the formula that you keep outlining, they got good goaltending. And that was the key, in my opinion, to them winning this game, because if he doesn't play as well as he did early in this game, the Coyotes don't have a chance to come back.
It's interesting. I wonder where this team would be if this was the goaltending they were getting through the first 13 games. But trust me, I'm not saying they're sitting on top of the Central, right? But I am realistic here. But a couple of those games, if they get a couple saves in the first period and they're not down by 2 goals, maybe they're clawing at a few more points. And it shows you how important those big saves are, because it's easy to get dejected on the bench if you're not getting those saves. So, hats off to Corral.
At least going to overtime, like they have the last 3 games, and collecting points that way. At the very
what least. An overtime. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. A review while the play's going. I don't think I've seen that before.
That might have been the most classic, like, Coyotes ending. I don't know.
Wouldn't it have been funnier, though, if it's post to post and, the Coyotes are on the, not funny, but ironic maybe, that, like you said,
Somebody
Coyotes.
had said that in the comments.
And they're all cheering, and Kopitar scores at the other end.
Did you see Capobianco's face?
Yeah.
Like when he started going the other way, he looked terrified. And he said, to be. looked just absolutely terrified. Like, was this really happening? Can you imagine
That
if
would
they
have been a nightmare.
Yeah, it was strange. But for those out there, like, so what happens on that play and what happened on this play? And Craig, I've seen it a few times. It's probably the third or fourth time in the last few years. Anything close, they're looking at in Toronto. I mean, they have several camera angles inside the net, overhead, and they have access to the timekeepers at every arena in the NHL. And if that puck's in the net, they blow a horn. And as soon as that horn went, you knew that the goal had counted. Because they don't want to play another 5 minutes. One, they don't want anybody to get hurt. They don't want to have another goal go the other way and have all kinds of controversy. So they want to be able to stop that as quickly as they can out of Toronto. Here's the call. Let's make it. Let's get it done. And so the horn blows and everybody can go home happy.
Well, I want to pull up a few, just, since you're here, Craig, a couple comments in the chat, and Aaron, I'll pull up the questions just because there's a few here in a row. So first one, any thoughts on Goaltending? I'd really love to see him get going.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a problem with Alex Galchenyuk's game. I actually think he's been pretty good defensively. He's not finding the score sheet all that consistently, but I think he's been a better all-around player than the guy that we saw here the last time he was here. So I guess that's what I would say. And look, also he was out of the lineup for a very long time. So I don't know what that time frame is where it takes to become completely comfortable again in a lineup, especially when you're playing with all new guys. But maybe he's not there yet. But I can't look at his game and say that I've had a problem with any part of his game at this point.
PD, anything?
No, I agree. I mean, this is who Galchenyuk is. I mean, I think he's a quicker player than this. I think that will come a little bit more too, but he's changed line mates a few times in the games he's been back. That familiarity is important. He got 2 shots on net. That's great. He ends up a -1, but that's unfortunate because he had the broken stick on the turnover play that Capobianco had along the wall. He had nothing to do with the play other than he happened to be on the ice. So being -1 is really unfair. I do expect to start seeing him on the score sheet a little more. He's on the second group on the power play. I think he'll be on the score sheet. His legs are moving. I've noticed him. He's making plays.
Yeah, I saw there was a play tonight. I think it was on a power play actually, where he had the puck coming up the right circle, and he tried to pass to Lawson Krause in front of the net when I thought he should have shot the puck. And I don't know if he's hesitating a little bit, if he's not confident, but that's a play where he just needs to fire it, and he's got a good shot, as we know. So I don't know. Maybe that just comes with time.
Yeah, and I think, Craig, he's not the only one that's passing up shots. I think sometimes you get in that selfless mode where, hey, I'm going to help out my teammate. And sometimes it's hard to be selfish. But that's one thing I think Clayton Keller does the same thing. There's plenty of times Clayton Keller's passing up shots to try to make a pass. Jacob Chikrin talked about it last week where he was doing that a lot. And now he's changed his mindset to, hey, I'm going to shoot. I'm going to start shooting the puck. And clearly that has paid off for him.
Yeah, Jacob Chikrin looks like a different player, huh?
Yeah,
he does.
And it's what we said. He needed that confidence, and he just needed things to start going his way, and he would ride that wave. And maybe it's the skates.
Maybe it is the skates. I mean, I want to get to the bottom of that, but I don't think he's ever given it away. I mean, he didn't give it away when Petey had him cornered against the wall.
I know. I still wouldn't. I opened the door for him, and he didn't. That was the skates.
So true. Okay, another question. I'm going way back in the chat. From Tim, can we talk about Boyd? Hadn't even heard of him before this training camp.
Yeah, and he's been on.
He had a goal tonight.
Out of the lineup a few times, and it's interesting. They've moved him up in the lineup, and listen, they don't have great center depth, so that's part of it. So I want to make it seem like Travis Boyd is a first line center, but he's been playing some top 6 minutes. He got moved up late in the game again tonight. I mean, he's given them some things. I still think if they had Nick Schmaltz, he's playing in the bottom 6 without question, but he's filled in admirably.
Yeah, he's a guy that's played over 130 games in this league, and he's not a goal scorer. He's not a point producer. His career high, I think he had 5 goals back in 2018. He's a two-way centerman that they just want to play 200 feet and play the right way. For him to get a big goal like that, fantastic. Is that going to be something we expect from Travis Boyd? I would say no. He's fast enough and skates well enough that he can play up in the lineup. Offensively, hand skill, maybe not suited for top six, but he's smart enough to defend, and he can be on the right place on the ice, and that's why he's able to play in those top 6 minutes. But I think you're right. As soon as Schmaltz is back, I think you're going to see these lines go through a heck of a jumble. But you talk about Dzingel at center, who's a guy that you'd say, well, he's clearly going to move back to the wing. He looks really good in the middle of the ice.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. There are a number of players that we can point to. Listen, I thought Capobianco made a couple mistakes in his own end, including the goal we talked about. But then he comes up with a big play, and he's producing points. He is producing offense. It's nice to see him playing with the sort of confidence that he's shown down in the AHL. I'd always wondered if he'd be able to translate that, and a lot of that is between the ears. And he seems like he's finally feeling comfortable in his situation in the NHL.
It's the best he's looked here. Absolutely. There are points where I don't think it's consistent for the entire game yet, but there are moments where he carries the puck with that same level of confidence that I've seen from him down in the American League, where you go, okay, that's the Kyle Capobianco we have to see here in the NHL. And I think it's the more he plays and the more games he gets under his belt, the more we're going to see that. Honestly, scoring an overtime winner in the Staples Center, if that doesn't help your confidence, I don't know what does.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. Another question. Thoughts on our forecheck tonight?
Go ahead.
I thought, you know what? I thought, again, it's kind of the way the game went. I thought the first 2 periods, it was too easy. We weren't getting on, the Coyotes weren't getting on pucks hard enough. LA was out of the zone quick. It was one pass. They beat 3 forwards. Guys were almost standing still on the forecheck. I didn't think they were able to turn any pucks over or create any offensive zone time at all. Through the first 2 periods. And then in the third period, when we talk about forecheck, it's not just the 3 forwards. The D have to be up on the play. And I thought we saw the D were able to hold pucks in as LA was trying to come out the ice, either along the wall or at the blue line. And I think that was the difference in the forecheck, was the ability for the defenseman to stay inside the blue line and be able to hold pucks in as LA were coming out of the zone. So that definitely, just like the rest of the game, the third period, their feet got moving and everything kind of followed along with it.
And that's really impressive on a back-to-back, and maybe back-to-backs are overblown a little bit. There's some coaches who don't think it's that big a deal, but usually if you're going to show fatigue, it's in the third period of the second game of a back-to-back, and that's where the Coyotes came on strong. So that's impressive. Maybe all that work that Andre has them doing in practices, those high-paced practices, is paying off a little bit here.
Yeah, and you talk about the defenseman too, and just a note came up. You've got Cam Denis, Dyson Mayo, and Kyle Capobianco, 3 guys that, I mean, spent a lot of time down in the minors. I mean, you 2 of them probably didn't expect to be here right now. I think Kyle did. I think Capobianco expected to make this team. He's a confident kid, and this was his time. But it is, those guys have really fit in. I'm really happy for the way they've been able to play and put in a lot of minutes. Like, Mayo's playing a lot of minutes right now, and he's playing well. They haven't hurt this team.
For sure. Craig, there's a comment about Beagle. Did you get any update on him in the post-game availability?
Nothing further. No.
All right. Well,
lose centers, obviously.
Man, I know. Well, we'll have to keep an
He's the
eye
best
on that.
face-up man too. So it's, I mean, you don't want to lose a guy like that.
And both Craig and I were looking for it, and we didn't see when it happened. Did you?
No, I just all of a sudden saw a tweet about it, and
I never figured out where it was.
Yeah, well, it's too bad for him. Hopefully he's back. And you got to figure tomorrow will be a day off, right, Craig? They won't practice tomorrow. Yeah, so they got a day off, maybe heal some bumps and bruises, and hopefully he's back in the lineup by Wednesday night, because they're going to need everybody, all hands on deck, especially in the middle of the ice, to take care of Draisaitl and McDavid. So we need somebody that can win draws for Wednesday night. So it's going to be key to get Beagle back in the lineup by Wednesday.
Definitely. Craig, you missed, we did our whole Vejmelka conversation. Tammy said Vejmelka was an absolute boss tonight. We also had once again, somehow the debate still lives on, Veggie versus Milkman.
There it is.
This is what we tweeted from the beat account earlier. Stop trying to make Milkman happen.
The truth is, I don't care that much, but I just don't get it.
It's just fun.
There's literally nobody on the team that calls him the Milkman. Nobody.
Nobody. The coaching staff, players, trainers, staff,
him,
the media.
Veg. Nobody calls him Milkman. Literally nobody.
What did he have to say about his getting his first win tonight?
Oh, he's excited. He's very measured in his responses because he's still trying to master the language. So I don't think I wish I spoke Czech is what I would say. We need Radim Verbata to conduct those interviews. We should bring him on so I can get better insight. But yeah, he's clearly excited because this was a tough road for him. he played well for so long and couldn't get anything, and then he struggled for a bit, and he's out of the goal because Wedgwood's playing so well. So Andre said it more than anyone. He was just happy for him. He's happy to see him rewarded because he really deserved it and earned it. And he's kept such a good attitude about it too. He's such a low-key guy. Andre says whenever he says something, he's like, okay, coach, sure, coach. Just does whatever he's told. He's always open to coaching, which is great.
Well, and I think that's part of the reason the guys play so hard for him. I mean, he's well liked in there, but so is Wedgie. And I know Rick Tocchet right now would be cursing me because I always used to say, well, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And Taco would say, does it matter if they're good guys? Like, I want a good player. So
there's a little bit.
Yeah, but I think that's if this team's going to win, it's going to be by pulling each other by their bootstraps and having good guys on the team. I really believe that. I mean, this isn't a team that's going to dominate with skill and talent. They're going to do it with 20 guys, and they're going to do it because they support each other.
I want to read this amazing conspiracy theory from Will. Did they make thousands of Milkman shirts and need to sell?
Wow, I like it.
I like that a lot. And here, speaking of
I bet they do. They're
transition-
sitting in the team shop right now in the boxes waiting.
But here we go.
These.
Here's my transition. Speaking of t-shirts.
T-shirts. Wow.
Woo! Here at PHNX, we finally got some new shirts. We had new colors of the Cody the Coyote shirt. I don't know if you all saw today on Twitter. Somebody was wearing our shirt in Ireland. We're global.
Yeah, Cody's worldwide. Cody worldwide.
And that new shirt.
That's my favorite.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Cannot wait to get that. Ordered mine.
Mine's on the way.
Did you order it, Craig?
I'm not going to answer that question, Leah.
I did. They ship on December 15th, Leah. So hopefully
they're really hard at that logo. You can get hypnotized by it.
Hopefully they get here by Christmas. That's what we're hoping for.
The PHNX locker, the holidays are coming up. It's already Thanksgiving this week. Black Friday's on Friday. Keep your eye out. There might be some Black Friday deals coming up at the PHNX locker. So make sure you grab those shirts, not just for yourself, but they'd make a really great gift. And you know what else you can gift? PHNX memberships. Check out gophnx.com. That's where you'll find all of Craig's stories all the time, but not just Craig, all the beats at PHNX, Suns, Cardinals, Diamondbacks, U of A, ASU, everything that you can possibly think of in the Valley. There's coverage on it, and it's amazing, amazing content. Please become a member at gophnx.com. Join the family. If you do the year membership, you can get a shirt as well. And then once you're a member with your shirt, you get members deals of the week on merchandise. So you can check out all the great Coyote shirts and all the other amazing shirts as well. I'm biased, obviously, toward the Coyote shirts, but a lot of great stuff there in the locker. So.
Yeah, and we'll talk about one of Craig's articles. He just wrote one, if you've missed it, that's honestly worth the membership. This is the Matt Schott article. And I don't want to rehash everything we went through last night, but if you haven't had a chance to read that, make sure you read that article. It's a really important piece, I think. Craig, is there anything you want to tease for the week on something you got going? Besides your cookies, maybe cookie recipe.
Really good tonight. It was a good batch. By the way.
Seriously, yeah. Do you get the kind where you just break them apart and put them in the pan, or do you make them?
Make them from scratch, buddy.
For real, like no Scout's honor.
Scout's honor.
Like flour and the whole thing and mixing it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't make cookies like that in 30 years.
Well, a couple of secret ingredients that I'm not going to disclose, but yeah, make them from scratch, and they're popular in this house. And it was a good batch.
You never cease to amaze me, Craig Morgan.
I learn something new every day. Craig, also, we really need to address this landscaping controversy.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, so, I stand by it.
Some of you may remember, I thought we were going to roll out a segment at some point of Petey's landscaping tips, and it never happened. So.
I know we can't because your wife's got it handled right now, like apparently.
Yeah. My wife, when we overseeded, she used these spike shoes, taking very, baby steps basically around the entire yard, which was insane to watch in her sun hat and the whole getup. But when I told her, that Petey suggested she not do that because it
compacts the dirt, which makes water harder to seep in. It's a true story.
She created a test patch for Petey's style. She used Petey's method.
Where you pulled it out.
Test patch.
You pulled out the plugs.
Yeah. And then she did her shoes. And she says that the test patch doesn't look as good. There's some issues. But I got to tell you, Petey, I got to be honest. I examined it. I don't see any issues with your patch. It looks pretty good. So
there's so many
Aw.
places I would go right now if we were still doing Manscaped
yeah,
reads,
I can't go any of those places.
but
buddy.
we're not.
Oh,
I just
man.
I'm
I
just
do
so
it all over
disappointed.
great.
Literally biting my tongue right now,
Oh.
Craig. Literally biting my tongue. Talking about
Wow.
landscape. Okay. Well,
Wow. I miss
that's
it.
the next segment. We're gonna have Craig's cooking with Craig and
Somebody said
landscaping
there's
with
a Cooking with Discount Clark Kent spin-off podcasting.
Petey. I think people tune in, Craig. I'm
I bet
telling
I
you.
could. I could roll out a podcast on baking.
I
Well,
guarantee it.
we are going to have a Thanksgiving themed audio episode this week, so we can delve a little bit more into baking on that.
Actually, that's a
on
great
that.
We're
idea.
going to talk about Thanksgiving food. We're definitely going to.
We're going to be debating.
We really are. I gave you guys a list of topics. I hope you come strong with that because I have already, put together all of my notes, and it's only Sunday.
Wow. Flexing on us at 11:21
Sorry, I
p.m.
didn't
on a
read that yet.
Sunday.
I shouldn't have my.
Petey,
you
you
read
haven't given us any thought yet?
Literally. What? I haven't read it yet. The show's not yet. I'll read it before I do the show. Early.
Oh my gosh, you too. Well, I guess we can talk about the schedule for this week. We're gonna have our post games Wednesday and Saturday. We'll be off Thursday, Friday for Thanksgiving. But we will have an audio episode, that Thanksgiving one, coming either Tuesday or Wednesday. And also on Tuesday, we will have a live show in the afternoon because while we're chatting goalies on the subject, we will have Scott Wedgwood will be joining our show live at 2:15 on Tuesday. So be sure to tune into that. That's going to be a good one. I'm really looking forward to talking to him.
Oh, he's a great guy, and he's a goalie too, so we know he's intelligent.
Wow.
Once again, why do I always get? It's always three goalies and me.
I completely agree, Craig.
Powers.
We're
Scott
hoping
Wedgwood.
nobody catches on to that, Leah.
It is Greg Powers too. Wow. Oh, and the other thing that we have to talk about will be we're talking about the weekly schedule. Friday night, Craig. We're busy Friday night.
Yes,
day
we
after
are. Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Between Thanksgiving Day and the Arizona game against the Dallas Stars, Craig and I are going to Oceanside to watch the Bemidji State Beavers invade Oceanside and play the ASU Sun Devils. Can't wait. And you got me in,
right?
right?
Is it so special to you, Petey?
Well, I don't know if you can see my clock. I got the Beaver clock right there. There's the Bemidji State Beaver clock right in the background. Bemidji State Beavers. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited about the game. And I really want to see, honestly, I want to see Josh Stone play live. I haven't seen him play since he was a kid here playing out at the ice ends. I'm really excited to see it. And I want to see a game in that arena. I've seen plenty of youth hockey games in that arena, but I'm seeing men playing that kind of speed and that kind of physicality when you're standing right on top of it. I'm really excited to see that game.
The only thing that worries me about that game from a fan perspective is it's Thanksgiving weekend. Will a lot of the students be on campus or will they be gone? Will be lacking some of the atmosphere that it normally has? I guess we'll find out.
The ASU U of A football game is on Saturday, so you would have to imagine some people are in town for that.
Yeah, some. Because
we'll see, Craig. You and I will be there, Craig. Are we doing the press box? Is that what are we going to sit in the press box?
No, have you been in that press box?
I
ever?
have. I didn't want to go up there. That was why I was going to say let's not.
No, I told him we didn't need a seat in the press box. I told him we had a certain guy that we might seek out who stands in the corner of the arena.
He might help us get a good spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time he was playing I don't know, it was like usher or bouncer when I went and he was standing outside of the arena.
Which, by the way, when we were at the Coyotes practice the other day and Petey saw Shane Doan, he said, "Oh, hi, Josh Doan's dad." So we're really trying to get that going.
Yeah, we're trying to get that trend going. He's heard Shane Doan enough. It's time.
It's hard to chirp him though because he takes everything so good natured.
I know.
It's impossible to get under his skin. Well,
hi, Shane. Welcome back.
It's easy on the ice.
Welcome back, Shane. We missed you. Does Shane have another show tonight?
He produced the Suns show tonight. We had a long day at the studio. We had
Will's not happy. We'll ask you a question.
Oh, wait. Speaking
Yeah.
of Shane, sorry, not Shane Diemenbach or Shane Doan, Shane Wright. There was a really funny tweet that we got tagged in today that actually, so this is Ethan trying to get some good mojo going at the PHNX game, putting Wright on the back of a Coyotes jersey with Shane Wright in the background. I mean, I laughed out loud. That was good.
That's a fantastic picture.
Yeah, it is.
I like it. I'm sure Stan Wilson and the equipment staff have a jersey all ready for him if he gets the ping pong ball small.
However, that the Coyotes leapfrog the long idle Ottawa Senators tonight in the standings. They are no longer.
But Seattle won.
Seattle won and the Blackhawks won.
And the Blackhawks won.
The Coyotes have 7 points out of the past 8. So, 7 points out of the last 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean,
let's ride the wave, Craig.
I know
let's
so
take
funny.
it while we can get it.
We had a big week, like Tuesday to now, a lot of points, a lot of excitement. It's been fun as a fan. It's been fun on the show, but then it's like, wait a second, what's the task at hand here? We're still in rebuild mode, but it's been a fun week, I think.
Yeah,
to be a Coyotes fan.
A little tougher.
Yeah,
a little tougher.
Yeah, they've got some tough games coming up, even next week. I mean, Edmonton and Dallas. Dallas has struggled a little bit this season early.
And then that road trip, Winnipeg and Minnesota back-to-back, that'll be a challenge too.
Yeah, that's 2 tough teams, and they're 2 tough building for this Coyotes team. And we talk about people change, coaches change, players change. Those 2 buildings are hard to win in. And trying to do it back-to-back doesn't make it any easier. Plus, you talk about a back-to-back and you talk about travel. The one thing with that back-to-back is you got to get across the border. You're going through customs, and that I know.
At least it's not a division game. Oh, wait, it is.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So it's another hour and a half. You're getting to bed much later, plus weather, and you could have trouble getting to the ring. It's terrible. So I'm concerned about that one. So we won't worry about it. We'll be happy about the win tonight.
I love that arena. Sorry, Leah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just going to say, I really like Tim's comment this year. I'm thankful that the Coyotes gave us a week of tolerable hockey. It's too much to ask for any more this season.
It's true. It's been fun. It's been a really good week. And you know what? They've been competitive. They've been skating. They've moved the puck really well. And they've stayed in games till the final buzzer. And that's, as a fan or doing this podcast or management or even a player, this is all you can ask for. Is play hard and try to be in it until the final minute. So it's been a fun week of hockey. Let's hope it continues.
Definitely. Any other final takeaways from tonight's game from either of you?
Not from the game. I just should let you know that I didn't save you any cookies.
What are you bringing to the office Friendsgiving, Craig?
What am I bringing? In fact, I'm not bringing anything. I'll carry what Tara makes. She's making 2 pies and an appetizer.
Wow! And by the way, this it shows you how many friends I have, and thank goodness for the podcast and PHNX. This will be my first Friendsgiving ever at 53 years old. Is that a bad sign, Craig? Have you been to? I literally never heard the term.
I went to one on Friday.
Never heard the term before in my life.
Neither have I. Friendsgiving.
I know. Is that a young person thing?
Thanksgiving with family. It's literally been a holiday every year.
Check that box for 50 years. But I'm Friendsgiving. I don't know. Either I don't have friends or it's not a thing. I don't know.
You know what? I also think that if we go to the dictionary, we won't find that word. I think it's made up.
I do think it's made up. But I'm in. I don't know what I'm bringing either, but I'll probably just bring pizza. Can I do that? Is pizza a thing? The Friendsgiving?
I would probably, we're going to get to this on the Thanksgiving show, but I would probably eat pizza over some of the traditional Thanksgiving.
We'll talk about it.
Because I'm not a big fan of the traditional Thanksgiving meal.
And if you're going to a potluck, the one thing to guarantee that you can eat, you better bring it yourself. Otherwise, you could go hungry. Just saying. Just saying. It's a pretty good chance I'm bringing some stuff I like to eat.
We're making a lot of friends out of this Friendsgiving.
Yeah, the hell with everybody else. I'm bringing what I want.
We're not going to eat anything of that.
Don't give a shit. I'm bringing what I want. Happy Friendsgiving.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry I swore there because I know Dan's kids listen to the podcast when he's driving.
We did talk.
I apologize, Dan.
Dan did say that, except for the Manscaped reads. He said
Sorry, Dan.
Oh my gosh.
That's a rarity on this show. I apologize.
PD, any final thoughts from you on tonight?
No, I think it's good. I'm surprised we're sitting here talking about a 4-game point streak. And you know what? They're playing like they deserve it. So let's hope they can keep it up. And it's good to see some individual performances, people playing well. Keller, Kraus, Chikrin, some guys are really starting to play well. And even guys like role players like Ryan Dzingler are everybody's pulling the weight, and that's how this team has to win. It's going to be 20 people every night, and it was fun, and let's hope it continues.
It's just good to see the players get some payoff too, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
Talk about how hard this was early in the season and how much it must be wearing on the players. We even heard it at times from Christian Fischer and from Lawson Krause. It's good to see these guys get some sort of reward. Let's be honest.
For sure. And before we go, let's just pull up the punch card. 1 game closer to the end of the 82-game season. There it is.
I swear, I said this before, I am going to print that and send it to the staff. I swear I just keep forgetting. I don't know who owns the graphic there, Leah, if you or Aaron has it, but send it to me.
I'll send it.
Print it.
We'll just mail them one every day.
Every day. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
You can just print a bunch of them and hand them out.
Yeah. Here you go.
We're almost there, everyone. We're almost there. Well, we'll be back this week. Also, one note I didn't say was it was Gostisbehere's 400th NHL game tonight and Lawson Krause's 300th. So a lot of milestones tonight as well. We will be back Tuesday for our live show with special guest Scott Wedgwood. So be sure to tune into that. Follow. Oh, new thing. Espo now is saying, what did he say? 3,500 followers. So he is adjusted. Yeah, he put on a goalie mask.
Did you see the mask Craig he put on? So I brought that to the studio last night. By the way, I thought it would go without saying. If you looked at the inside of the mask, you'd probably go, "Gosh, I probably won't put that on."
Yeah,
because it's not like I bought a brand new mask and brought it to the studio. That is not a new mask, Craig.
Right. We're going to be hearing about Espo's rare skin disease that
is. Oh my gosh!
It's been in a hockey bag in my garage for how many years?
Exactly. I got the same thing in my attic.
I will post the graphic. I got you. Yeah. So he is now adjusted 3,500 Twitter followers. By the end of the year, he'll take the slap shot still. So if you are not, get out your phone right now. Get out your computer. Get out your burner accounts. Follow at PHNX_Coyotes on Twitter now. We will get it done. We will make it happen. While you're at it, follow PD at S Peters Hockey, me at Leah Merrill, Craig at Craig S Morgan, and become a member. Check out DraftKings using the code PHNX and bet on either team to score in an NBA game, and you'll get $100 in free bets if they do, which they will. And another win. Let's just enjoy this week. I'm thankful for, like was said earlier, a tolerable week of Coyotes hockey, and 19 games down, however many. Math is hard to go.
Exactly.
All right. On that note, thanks for staying up late to watch our post-game show, everyone. We appreciate you all. Thanks for all your comments in the chat, and we'll see everyone on Tuesday.